Guys, welcome to LogiTALK. I am very happy to do this episode with you, and I'm sure our viewers will have a great takeaway with the kind of experience with you both bring to the table. But let us first understand how did it all start, and probably you can tell your story, Vivek, and you can tell your story, Nityam. I'm sure a lot of people are intrigued to know that how did everything come together and Team Global got formed. So whoever wants to take it first, right out of college, maybe if I can try and take you back to that memory, anyone can take that up.
Thank you. I think that's a very interesting question and a good first question to begin with. So it actually did start not at college, but just after college. So
Okay.
Both of us are management graduates, and it's just that the providence would have it that in the year 1992, post our masters in management, we were looking for a job, and we coincidentally landed in the same company as management trainees. So we got selected through campus.
Okay.
So there was a campus recruitment. The company was Forbes Campbell and Company.
Okay.
So it's
sorry?
Forbes Campbell and Company.
Okay.
Subsequently, it's now called Forbes Gokak Limited because
All
they
right.
merged with the Gokak mills. So
Right.
it was a Tata Group company at that time.
All right.
Subsequently, it got sold to the Shapoorji Pallonji Group.
Okay.
Yes, so they had at that time one of the largest shipping groups in India because at that time essentially the business was agency houses. Shipping and logistics was limited to agency houses, and it was port to port activity was there. There was no intermodal activity that happened at that time. And they were foreign principals and they were Indian agents, and some of the larger shipping houses at that time, Tata being it carried that brand.
Right.
And the company was established in, I think, 1737 or something like that.
Yeah.
Something like that. So it's very couple of 100 years old company, Forbes, because probably it has been, shipping agency since then.
Correct.
So that's how we got, we were recruited and we started our career on the same day. And that's where we met.
Oh, so you worked together on the first day itself? Wow.
Yes. So this was in year 92, June of 1992, to be precise, yeah. So at that time, we in this nice, beautiful, those heritage buildings in Fort area.
Was that the Forbes house?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Understood.
Forbes house, yes.
Yeah.
So Charanjit Rai Mark Forbes
Correct.
house. Yeah,
correct.
that's where we started our career. And we just hit off very well, and we realized that we have a lot of common interest, common way of thinking, and common approach as to how the business can be done, should be done.
Right.
And we've been together in various capacities since then. So that's where we started our career.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, if I were to answer that question in terms of how did it all start, and then after having worked there for about a year plus, there was an opportunity, and there was one of the new companies that was coming up at that time, year 93. So one can, in today's parlance, it can be called a startup.
Okay.
So that company was called Alcargo.
Okay.
So that's where we were there as a.
And you moved to the together?
Together, yes.
Okay.
And so we were the founder employees there.
Right.
And then we were there for 12 years.
Wow.
And in 2005, when we thought it's the right time that we need to do something together.
Right.
And there's a market gives an opportunity.
Right.
And of course, there are many more reasons why it happened. Apart from market opportunity, also the need of multiple good brands.
Correct. Absolutely.
To establish a good brand. Various other things with that we will speak in details.
Right.
So that's how we started. And year 2005, we said, why not we extend our journey from being co-workers to co-entrepreneurs,
right.
and being co-founders of TeamGlobal. That's how it all started.
So what was the thought process during taking that leap? Was it all hunky-dory, or was there some element of being scared?
And apart from that, if you want to add anything in the beginning years, earlier years, and then you can take that question.
Firstly, thank you, Kunal. Thank you for having us. And I think it's very good to take a pause and look at your journey of more than 3 decades in logistics. Yeah. My journey started a little earlier than Vivek because I started working from the age of 14.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And I'm born and brought up in Bombay.
Bombay, right.
And I started way back right after my 12th, during my 12th, and along with my education, and I started with Double Bull shirts. There was a brand called Double Bull.
Yes, I've heard
Yeah.
from my father.
And
Yeah.
I worked as a salesman there along with my education.
Okay.
And then, and when I went to my graduation first year, BCom, second year BCom,
Right.
I'm a commerce postgraduate. And,
Right.
and that is the time I started working with Taj. And I
Oh.
worked with Taj Cake Shops, there, which was there in Bandra. I live in
Yeah,
Bandra,
yeah.
and I've been there in Bandra right from my birth.
Right.
And
You're a Bandra boy.
I'm a Bandra boy.
Yeah.
Bandra boy. And that is the time I worked for 3 years along with my graduation. All 3 years I worked with Taj, and I was taking care of the cash. I was a cashier there,
Right.
and plus I used to help the people in sales and other activities.
Right.
So at 19, I was a graduate because I didn't do my kindergarten and other stuff. So
Right.
I was privileged to save 1 year
Yeah.
of my graduation, and I moved to Hong Kong.
Okay.
Yeah,
At the age
after
of
my
19?
graduation, yeah, 19, and what I did was I got a job in West Africa
Mm-hmm.
when I was in Taj, because the franchisee, that is BRA Enterprises, he
Right.
had his cousin who had a big business in Liberia,
Okay.
and he wanted me to go there. And I went to my dad and I said, I want to go. My father said, no, how can you go to West Africa? It's not safe.
Yeah.
My dad was a pretty typical conventional guy. He wanted me to do IAS and
Right.
other stuff. So, which I was not very keen on getting into these competitive exams of
Right.
IAS and all. So I said no, but he said, no, I can allow you somewhere close by.
Okay.
So I managed to get a job in Hong Kong.
All
I
right.
said, Hong Kong, at least you will let me go.
Yeah.
And I went to Hong Kong at the age of 19, but I continued my education. I took admission in MCOM
Okay.
and I went to Hong Kong.
Which year was this?
This was way back in 1990. No, it was 88. 88, 89.
Were there
88,
direct
89.
flights to Hong Kong back then, or it must be that hopping ones, right?
Sorry?
Was there a direct flight to Hong
No,
Kong?
they were direct flights.
Oh.
Yeah. BA was there.
Oh,
They used to operate that time.
okay.
Yeah,
So
yes,
they had
I
the
mean,
fifth freedom rights where they could operate from
Oh,
India.
yeah.
to-
There were
wow.
a few direct flights to Hong Kong, and I went to Hong Kong and I continued my education. And I used to come to India pretty often because I had that luxury. I could afford to
Right.
to buy my tickets because of
Right.
I was earning on my own.
Exactly.
And I happened to one of my friends. He said there is a MMS exam, MBA exam,
Yeah.
which happens in that time. MBA was only universities. It was not like this, or IIMS was there, or MMS was there.
Right.
And I gave my written exam.
Okay.
And I actually had not prepared for it, but I applied for it and I came down for my exams and I gave. Fortunately, what happened, as fortune would have, that I cleared the exam and he
Oh.
flunked. Yeah. And once I cleared the exam, my dad said, no, now you have to, give it a shot.
Yeah.
So there were around 7 institutes in Mumbai that time.
Okay.
And I applied and all, and I managed to get admission.
Right.
And once I got the admission, my father said, no, I think it's time for you to come back and continue with your education.
Okay.
And well, I did so. And I came back, then I did my MBA. And after MBA, there was, I got into Forbes through campus recruitment. Vivek also got it through campus recruitment.
Right.
So that is the time we met in Forbes.
Okay.
And we both joined in as management trainees. And I think rest of the journey Vivek has covered pretty well.
So do you think the choice of starting way early, you said you started working at the age of 14. I think you mentioned Double Bull, there must be Chirag Din at that
Yeah,
time.
Chirag Din was a
CD,
competition, yeah.
competitor, right?
Yeah.
Is it always better to start early and get that experience, which probably no school or no university can teach you?
I think so. I'll tell you. The reason I think like that is because it gives you a financial independence.
Yeah.
And when you have financial independence, your mind works differently.
Yeah.
And more importantly, it gives you exposure of interacting with people.
Yeah.
You're dealing with different kinds of people at that point of time. You also have the benefit that you're pretty young and
Yeah.
people take you, little easy
Correct.
at that. So I think that's a great time to start. And if you could, but never leave your education. I think.
Yeah.
I think that is a good thing. What I did was I continued to pursue-
simultaneously study as well and not just
exactly.
Yeah.
But again, then you have to find a balance because
Yeah.
it's not that I didn't have fun. I also had good times.
Correct.
I enjoyed.
Yeah.
But I think you have to work in silos at that point of time and
Of course.
see, as long as you can find the balance, I think it's fine.
I think nowadays parents are a little more conservative. They want to focus more on the education part because probably there are, I mean, and I'm telling it happened with me also. The first chance I got for a part time was when I went out for my education. And there I was working as a waiter in an Indian restaurant. But that experience just is something which even education cannot teach you, you know. And I ended up meeting so many different people from different nationalities and talk to them, get tips, have a great weekend then from the money which you've earned. So I completely understand. But I think it is very important to start early as well, but not a lot of people take that opportunity. They want to just be comfortable in their zone. uh, but that's great. So now 1992 you guys started at Forbes. 93 is where you moved to All Cargo. 2005 is when you guys decided to take that leap of faith, if I can say that. What was the feeling back then, starting on your own? Butterflies in your stomach, or you guys were?
I think I'll take it first and then Vivek can continue. To be honest, I think we had a lot of confidence at that point of time. And when we started with the idea that we just want to do something.
Right.
There was no kind of a vision that we are going to create some big company or we want to create something which is huge. But we wanted to do something significant.
Yeah.
I think that was
Simple start.
Simple start, significant start.
Yeah.
And the confidence levels are high. I'll tell you also the courage was there because we were two of us.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, had I been alone, it would have been very difficult for me to take that leap.
Correct.
And to take that jump. Or I'm sure same applies for Vivek as well. And there were two people with different personalities, but aligned vision.
Yeah.
Coming together.
Yeah.
And different backgrounds all put together.
Yeah.
And the market support with different skill sets as well.
Correct.
Which was there. So I think and that is something which really gave us the courage that I think we should go for it. And to keep it very simple, I'll tell you, it was to create something significant.
Yeah.
And to create something professional.
Correct.
Because I think both came from very educated family backgrounds also.
Right.
And families were also highly educated.
Right.
For both the families where we came from.
Correct.
And I think the idea was to create something professional and move forward, because to have something professional in unorganized sector was something unique at that point of time.
And I think need of the hour as well back then.
2005?
Yeah. There was a lot of, I mean, this industry is still to some percentage unorganized. It's still moving towards
unorganized.
Exactly. Yeah. I wanted to be a little more.
If you ask me, I think there's always a need. And today also there's a need of professional players coming in with the right educational, technical backgrounds, qualifications, and bringing those practices into the business. I'm sure you also as a truck entrepreneur, you also realize when you meet people as to how essential it is or how important it is to bring that thought process and those practices into the industry. Yeah. So just to add a couple of more points to what Nityam just mentioned. Yes. So it was not a leap of faith. It was it was a very
conscious
decision, a very thoughtful decision, without much of a leaving anything to fate or chance.
Right.
It was done in a very structured way. Of course, it was an unknown journey, because being entrepreneur is different and being somebody who is working, although at a professional level, is something different. I think what also gave us the confidence is because we were the founder employees of the previous organization, and we were in the journey of right from
seeing everything from the ground up.
Yeah, not even seeing, but being part of it, or being actively involved in it, and sometimes at a much higher level of involvement than some the colleagues within the organization.
Right.
So I think that gave us that so been there, done that. So it was just a matter of having to do it again.
Correct.
With a flair of the unknown.
Right.
And that flavor of unknown, I think it brings the excitement and the charm to the entire, journey of being an entrepreneur.
Exactly. That's what entrepreneurship is all about. I think risk taking and having that confidence that something will happen, and just keeping that in mind that, okay, let's build something. As you rightly said, Nityam, not thinking that, okay, I want to build a billion-dollar company, but at least building something of our own. And do you think okay, so let me call you guys co-founders, right? Co-founders. So is it important for having a mix skills between the co-founders? Like, for example, if two people are doing this, having the same skills, then probably the alignment will not be there. Both people will be kept on focusing on the same thing. But having two different skills, or maybe different attitudes, different things to contribute to the table, does that help in order to have the right co-founder?
If you ask me, for sure it helps. But you also have to keep in mind that we had the benefit of working together for 12 years prior to doing something.
Right.
So we exactly knew each other's personalities,
Right.
how it moves. And I think that was one big factor. And to answer to your question about the skill sets, it makes all the sense to have different skill sets. If you also, and same thing goes with hiring.
Yeah.
If you hire the people with the similar skill sets what you have, I think that's the biggest mistake people make.
100%
They look for
agree.
people who are like them to hire. No,
Exactly.
you're already there.
Yeah.
I think you need people who are better than you or smarter than
100%
you.
agree.
That is what you have to look for in people.
Yeah.
And I think that also goes with partnerships. And another thing I will tell you about partnerships is, I think it's not 50-50 always. The way I look at it.
Yeah.
Sometimes, it is 80-20 in decision making. Sometimes it is 20-80.
Right.
Sometimes it is 10-90.
Correct.
So I think you have to have that mutual respect.
Right.
And so depending on the task, what you do, or depending on the role you perform, I think you have to choose, and you have to see where you're going to play the first guy, or you're going to play the second guy, and how you balance it. I think as long as you can do that and you can understand that, I think you can manage, because I think what happens in partnerships is conflicts.
Correct.
And conflicts come where? From where? It comes from your, egos, or,
insecurities,
which are there. And as long as you crack that code of, how you handle this, I think you're sorted.
Yeah.
So there's nothing like a written code. It is unsaid.
It's just compatibility, I feel.
It is unsaid, unstated, and understood.
Yeah.
So there's nothing like a very written code about it. And talking about skill sets, I think there's what Nityam rightly mentioned was that confidence of having worked for, I think it's more than 12 years, like 13 and a half, close to business, including the stint that we had as a management trade together.
Right.
So I think the mutual respect for each other's skill sets, understanding what those skill sets are, of course, followed by the respect, and then giving the other person precedence in decision making, as well as in pursuing activity which pertains to the skill set in which that particular individual has the upper hand.
Right.
So I think that it just came over a period of those 12, 13 years that we worked together. It just got evolved, and that comfort also got developed. Yes, I mean, you do this, you do this, and it was just a complementary role all along. Even if there was some overlapping, and there was always that strong level of confidence on the other person, in the other person, is that, okay, I'm not around, but this should be done, and just figure out the way you would be. And, it would just be done the way he would have done in my absence, or I would have done in his absence. So I think that's how it just got evolved, and that's where the comfort came, that's where the confidence came, and that's where the partnership it just evolved, and we were able to create something as big and as beautiful as TeamGlobal that you see today.
Yeah. So what?
Of course. It is, it is, these problems come when friends become business partners.
Uh,
But when professionals become friends, I think it's a different story.
oh,
So
well
I
put.
think
Yeah.
I think that is the difference here. That we were not friends, we were professionals. We worked
Yeah.
together for many years,
Correct.
and that converted to friendship.
You guys were working in the same department at Allcargo?
No, we were
Oh.
no in Allcargo. We were.
Yeah.
It was a startup. We were the first. To
Ah,
go
okay.
to
Everyone has
yeah.
to do everything.
We did everything. So
Fair
we did
enough.
everything.
Yeah.
And folks, we were in little different kind of departments,
Correct.
but I think it was still we were.
It was essentially
always
business development. Yeah.
Right. And so, okay, now let's break it down. What is TeamGlobal? What if you have to explain what you guys do? Of course, it's logistics. But let's focus on which segments of logistics, because logistics is a huge
There's an ocean there.
sector. Exactly. So, what is TeamGlobal in?
So essentially, there are two. We are, if we would proudly call ourselves as a full service, logistics organization.
Right.
So if we break down into various segments that we are present into, so we are in the LCL consolidation segments. That's where we occupy the premium spot, and we are one of the largest consolidators.
One of the market leaders.
Yeah, market leaders. Not only in India, but in Bangladesh, we have our own office, and also in East Africa. Then there's another significant book of business that comes from container freight station activities.
Okay.
So we own and operate container stations. So in all, there are about 7 container stations spread across India, starting with 3 in Nhava Sheva, Mundra, Hyderabad, Chennai, and Vizag is that we operate. And the other segments that we are into, significant of our business comes from the full container load on the air freight side, on the coastal shipping side. So there are various segments that we operate.
Right.
Dominant being the LCL consolidation and the container freight stations. Not that we don't have a dominant presence there, but we have significant presence when it comes to full container load forwarding. We do close to 50,000 containers on the full container load.
Right.
We do about 10 to 12,000 tons per annum on the air freight, which by no way is small. And also we are offering unique solutions on the domestic multimodal. So we do, using the coastal shipping route, we offer solutions on a door-to-door basis to our customers. So these are some of the areas that we are present in and that we operate.
Just to add, we also have a fairly decent size equipment division.
Oh.
And we have a transport division as well, wherein we own a fleet of close to 200 trailers.
Wow.
And we also have around 20 to 23 top lifters, those big container handling machines, reach stackers, which are there. And plus we have around 60, 70 odd forklifts of different categories or different tonnages, what we have. And staff around, we are close to, including the contractual staff, what we have, we are around little above 2,500 people.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's massive. And that has happened over
20 years.
20 years. So wonderful. Yeah. Wonderful. So for me, when I always heard TeamGlobal, for me, it was always about consolidation. But right now, as you explained, there's so much happening in and around logistics, which you guys are taking care of. But okay, okay, as I told you, right, in a lot of our viewers probably may not be part of the logistics industry yet, or maybe I've just stepped into logistics. What if I ask you to break down the core logistic activities and explain what each activity is all about? Let's divide it into freight forwarding, consolidation, and NVOCC. It's a confused concept for many people. Many people use it very loosely here and there. What is your take on these 3 distinctive activities? Or maybe I am wrong and all these 3 are overlapping. Of course, they are not. I know it for a fact. But if I have to ask you to explain it to, let's say, a 16-year-old, how would you do it?
So I will take that question first, and I will request Nityam to complement with his insights into this question. So if you ask me, logistics is about movement of goods from point A to point.
Right.
Okay. So now, depending on a shipper's requirement, these activities get offered to them by a logistics service provider.
Right.
So the three entities that you mentioned, the NVOCC, the freight forwarder, the consolidator, they are nothing but a logistics service provider. And they, depending on the customer's requirement, they offer those services.
Right.
Now, what happens is, over a period of time, there are certain customers who require a certain kind of services. So you specialize into offering those services,
Got it.
and then you get branded as that under that tag of being a LCL consultant, because significant business comes of our organization, or there are some similar organization come from offering LCL consultation services.
Right.
So that's how they get branded or termed as LCL consultant.
Right.
Then there are these container operators who hire space on feeder services, and they move boxes from one place to other place.
Right.
Boxes are owned, the ships are not owned.
Right.
So they get branded as NVOCs.
Right.
Then there are these non-asset people
Correct.
who take service from NVOCCs, from shipping lines, from LCL consultants like us, or CFS operators like us, and they integrate all that, and they offer it as a transportation service or logistics service.
Right.
And sometimes they are also called integrators.
Right.
And they are broadly referred to as freight forwarders.
Right.
So they also, apart from these services, the customer may require, services of warehousing, or,
Right.
some intermittent value addition in terms of packing, labeling, etc. They also offer that. Essentially, so to answer your question, it is logistics services everybody is offering. There is a differentiation in terms of the specialization they offer,
Got it.
but they cater to the requirement of movement of goods from one place to other place. That's how I would broadly, explain it.
Right.
And that would be my understanding, and I would put it that way.
Yeah.
I would ask Nityam to elaborate it from his perspective.
Yeah. So
And he also has some interesting perspective
Yeah.
and understanding as to what this is all
See,
about.
broadly, like Vivek has very aptly covered it,
Yeah.
but broadly, I would say it is transportation,
Yeah.
it is warehousing,
Yeah.
it is clearance of borders, border clearances, which is involved. In each segment, there are multiple activities. The warehousing can be of different types. There are contract logistics, and there are general warehousing, there are boarded warehousing, reefer warehousing,
hazard.
anything. There are different types of warehousing.
Right.
You may specialize, or you may specialize in few. Of course, depending on, which is your area of interest or what resources you have.
Right.
Similarly, it applies to transportation
Right.
also. It could be FTLs, it could be PTLs, it could
Correct.
be container transport. And for border clearances also, again, you could be doing it at origin, you could be doing it at destination, or you could be having a network.
Right.
So it's a very broad field, because today the world is moving because of logistics.
Yeah,
because
100%.
the
Yeah.
place of consume and the place of produce, which is there, it is connecting the both.
Yes.
And it is not easy, and we are living in the world of globalization. Of
Yep.
course, now when we go to geopolitics, we have a different view today as to what is happening there. But
Thanks to a few leaders.
yeah, exactly. But currently, when you look at it in the world of globalization, it's, I think, the full chain of logistics which is there are multiple activities. You may find very few specialists who can do a good end-to-end
Right.
in real terms. But the right way to go forward is, I think, find your core, find your strength, and collaborate, and give the good experience
Right.
to your customer. I think that is what you have, because when you back up service with good technology, good infrastructure, that converts it to an experience.
Right.
And I think that is what we all logisticians, as we call, I would call ourselves.
Correct.
I think we should aim in doing that.
It's all about customer service, right?
Yeah, it's all about experience, I would say.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So customer service, everybody wants to give a
Correct.
customer service, but when it is backed by the right intent of trying to be the best in your class,
Correct.
and also using technology, as Nityam just mentioned, I think that elevates you to a different level, and that is the differentiating factor.
Correct.
So, as an entrepreneur and a business leader and a founder of companies, your vision in terms of achieving excellence in what you do really matters into your evolution as an organization.
Right.
Because if you don't aim for excellence, then what will happen? And if you then your business motive can be very different.
Correct.
It can be just profit maximization, or it can be a profit maximization along with geographical spread, or it can be multiple things. But if you put excellence in customer service and customer experience backed by technology as the foremost objective of doing business,
Right.
then everything else falls in place. The money will come, the geographical reach will happen, the
Right.
expansion will happen. So I think what market respects and helps you to grow is when they see that there's the right intent in terms of giving excellence in whatever you do or you
Right.
offer as a service, and that gets respected not only by your customers but internally within your team. So when you see your colleagues within the organization and when they become part of that vision of
Correct.
offering excellence, their alignment with that vision, makes it a more bigger force.
Yep.
Then it's not only at the entrepreneurial level, then you are offering that vision in terms of excellence at a group level, or
think the
at,
vision-
at an organization level.
Yeah, exactly. The vision has to be first understood by your people who are working for you,
Yeah.
and then has to be percolated to the customer as well, and then that's when the synergies all come together.
So all that helps you to become differentiate yourself, helps you to grow, and create that so-called brand value.
Yeah.
Okay. I think you want to add
I
something.
think you covered it.
The new generation is coming in. We were just speaking
Yeah, we
about
were
it.
talking about it.
When you just walked in, we were talking about it. How do you see this new generation coming along within this industry, and how prepared are you to accept this new generation, the Gen Zs, the Gen Alphas, or whatever you want to call them, within this industry? I'm sure there is no problem of attracting talent because there are now dedicated supply chain courses, dedicated logistics subjects which you can study. So interest is there. People really want to get into it. But how to keep them engaged? Is it a problem which you guys are also facing, or probably you figured it out how to go about it?
So I think there's no escaping from recruiting the new generation, right? Where are you going to get your
New
employees
bloods,
from,
yeah,
right?
of course.
They will be Gen Z and a subsequent generation.
Yeah.
So it's a foregone conclusions that you need to bring in new blood.
Yeah.
How do you keep them engaged? Essentially, you have to give them the feeling that they are part of a great company.
Yeah.
So how do you reach there, right? So you have to have a very strong culture that you need to create within the organization.
Yeah.
A very strong positive culture, positivity, which we just covered some time back. So that positivity has to be there, and also ensure that today's generation is more interest. They are looking for some quick successes, quick hits, instant gratification.
Correct.
Can we create some HR policies around that? Can we bring them? They are using on a day-to-day basis. They are using Instagram, Facebook. I mean, Facebook is now so-called outdated, but there are various tools now. Also AI. How do you try to bring about similar user interfaces, experiences in your technology that you use,
right?
So that they are at home when they're using social media, they are using your platform in the organization systems. Whether how you can, of course, it's not easy to replicate, and it's sometimes not possible also, but it's not even worth doing it. But can you give that
some feel around it?
So create a good culture. So trying to bring about a sense of belonging, addressing issues of instant recognition, gratification, continuous training, so that they are upskilled.
Yeah, they're feeling that they're learning something new on the go.
And also consciously ensuring that your organization stays politics free. So there is no
toxic free.
Toxic free. It has to be strictly merit based organization.
Yeah.
When people, I think the new generation, they respect merit based work culture a lot.
And merit based recognition. If a 23-year-old or 24-year-old is performing well than your 35-year-old, what is stopping you from giving that 23-year-old a good bonus or a good promotion, right?
So you create a merit based work culture. So you do various things. It's very easy said than being done, and not that we are successful in 100% of the things which I mentioned. But consciously, there's an attempt, to work towards this various things that I just mentioned. to make it attractive and relevant to the new generation that is coming in?
Firstly, I think this is the most difficult code to crack. It is not
The next big challenge.
Yeah, big challenge means big challenge, and to be very honest, I don't think we have figured it out as yet. We have not done that. Of course, there is an attempt consciousness which is there, but I think it has to get far better from where we are today.
Yeah.
I think it all starts first. You have to accept the new generation the way it is.
Yep.
Because the acceptability from our generation, or the generations also which are there before us, it doesn't come that easy.
Yeah.
And generations are today not of 10 years, 15 years, they're of 5 years.
Yeah, absolutely.
That
The
is
world
way-
is changing so
world
fast.
changes. If you see, you have to, like I have two boys, if the age difference is 5 years, both are different.
Yeah.
It's a different generation.
Largely, yes.
And when you talk about Gen Zs, or you talk about now, you have to think about alphas.
Yeah.
That is what we were just discussing before
Yeah.
Vivek came in. And we said we have to really think about the alphas also, because I said these are your vendors of future.
Yeah.
These are your customers of future.
Yeah.
And these are going to be your people of future.
Absolutely.
So waiting for them to align to you, I think you have to align to them.
Yeah.
And you
Very
have
much.
to work. Yeah, exactly. But the mistake what we make, I think, and a lot of us, we make that repeated. We are pushing them to align to us, and then we are getting frustrated.
Because
And
they're
then-
not getting aligned.
And they're saying, no, these guys.
Yeah.
Policy. I think policy is the most misused
Yeah,
word,
yeah.
which is there in today's generation.
As soon as you
Yeah.
say policy, they feel bounded.
Exactly. And the conventional, if you have a conventional HR
Yeah.
sitting in your office, he's going to follow the old colonial kind of a thing,
Yeah.
policies which are there, which doesn't work.
Yeah. Not anymore.
Yeah, not anymore. It doesn't work. Today, there's like work from home has changed a
Yeah.
lot of stuff. Dressing codes have changed
Yeah.
everywhere. You find, it's all changing, and you have to change and adapt to. So I think two things over here. One is, I think we have to borrow some wisdom from Darwin
Yeah.
over here. And it is
Change is
not
the only
strongest-
constant.
Yeah, change is a constant. And it is not the strongest who is going to survive. It is the most adaptable.
Yeah.
I think that is the one which is going to survive.
True.
And that adaptability is going to bring resilience within you.
Yeah.
Because if you have to, you see the way the world is changing today.
Yeah.
The world is changing so fast. In terms of, there are a couple of wars which are going
Correct.
on. We thought when Russia walked into Ukraine, we thought 3 days, 4 days, the war is going to
Yeah.
end. 3 years have gone. War is not ended.
Yeah.
The war is also being fought on a different way, all put together. It is contactless.
Yes.
Today it is not with it used to be a high contact war,
Yeah.
and today it's a contact with
Contactless.
drones, and it is high range missiles.
Yeah.
So with this kind of a change coming in, you really need to build teams for the future which are more resilient. And for building more resilient team, you have to really think totally out of the box. Though we are in container business, but we have to think out of the box, and we have to really, get to that. And very difficult thing to do. Trust me. And if we are really going to bank on our generation to do this, I think it is difficult. We have to get some people from this generation, which I guess you have already done.
Yeah.
And then only you will be able to get the right fix of it.
No, that is exactly,
Yeah.
Vivek, what I was telling Nityam. And it was a very interesting conversation which we had started before we started shooting for this. I have been privileged to work with a lot of, just to bracket them, Gen Zs, you can put it. But let me put it an age group between 22 to 26, 27 age group of people. And surprisingly, against what the world is saying, I love working with them. I have sort of my average age in the company, which I was telling Nityam as well, which used to be probably 37, 38, 3 years, 4 years back. That has now come down to 26, 27. My product team, which is the design team, is now led by a 31-year-old young guy who has a 40-year-old reporting to him. That was a change which no one saw it coming in SoftLink, and we made it happen. And people had to get aligned with it, very honestly, because as you said, change is the only constant. And the way I think, in order to get the best out of this new young blood people coming into the workforce, first of all, they are great at what they do. Okay,
That they're great at?
what they do. They just need to be given that freedom. Okay, they have to be made felt that they are not chained. I was just telling Nityam that don't tell them to do the 100%. Okay, just tell them that here's the 10% and go and figure out the 90% by yourself. And that's when they start taking the ownership of the thing. And as soon as they take the ownership of some project or whatever, then for them is no longer a 9 to 5 job. If you start telling them what to do always, they will always treat it as a 9 to 5 job, and they'll stop using their brain and they'll be like, okay, I'll do as what my boss says, right? So the first thing which I did here was stop calling me sir. I mean, I am probably like a buddy to you. Stop calling sir. That culture has to go. And then they have to be felt that they are the owner of this whatever task they have taken up, whatever project they have taken up, and show them the confidence. Also have some bandwidth for them to fail, because not everything is going to be a success by them. So have that appetite for them to probably fail, maybe work on an iteration and come back to you again. And I think that has worked. Personally speaking, I've seen so many reels out there on social media where everyone is just making fun of the Gen Zs coming in. But to my experience, I think I am completely 180 different on that. I think this is one of the best generation coming to the workforce, and I'm largely surprised by the kind of commitment and conviction they bring to the table. I mean, I have had great experience with them.
Yeah, I think they need to relate to what they're doing. I think in short, that the moment you establish that, their skills and with the organizational needs, and they start relating to the organizational needs with the skills that they have, and the moment they are giving the freedom and they taste success, then you are the best employee in it.
Yeah.
But as you mentioned, it's a different, it's easier said than done.
Absolutely.
And you need to, really figure out, and crack it. And although it can be said in a podcast like this, but practicing it at an organizational level, at a department level, at the executive level, at an operational level, becomes a bit of a challenge. So I think that's what entrepreneur's job is. How do you ensure that some of these the new realities, uniformly known to your management team, and how they deal with the situation in the same way as you rightly just described it.
So what's the next 10 years looking for TeamGlobal, and how is your second generation aligned to come in? Maybe probably they're too young as of now, but have you started to groom them to bring them into the bullpen, into the playing field?
I think we have already started working on that, and like Vivek's daughter is also, she did a training in the US with agent Shipco. We work with Shipco network.
Yeah, Shipco. Yeah.
And she did a training program there, and she's back and she's working in one of the subsidiaries.
Nice.
My son also, he graduated and he's also joined as a trainee.
Right.
And he's also working within the organization. So
wonderful.
This is one part of it.
Right.
Second thing is, we have not today. We have always believed in building teams and building a strong second line and a backup also for the second line.
Right.
So I think it's work in progress.
Right.
I think you have to continuously work on that, and we have been doing.
Right.
We are also looking at making our getting some kind of a transformation, or we are trying to evolve our team also to rise up to the changing requirements of the world.
Right.
And that is a continuous process which HR is working on.
Right.
And that is what is happening within our organization. And in time to get, we are also trying our best to attract more and more talented people, and to separate ownership from management.
Yeah.
I think that is something we want to very keenly do.
True.
And of course, the generation will get the ownership by inheritance.
Correct.
But management will come only on your competency.
Yes. True.
And I think that is the way it should be. And I think that is a culture also what is there within the organization, because I think we didn't touch much on the culture, but Vivek very certainly, mentioned a little on the culture. I think culture is something we have been, very conscious right from the beginning, inception of the company. I think first thing was that we wanted to get a very professional culture. because we thought that could be our differentiator, our sweet spot kind of a thing in this market. And secondly, we see that culture gets built over years, repeatedly when you do something correctly.
It's not overnight.
Nicely, it is not overnight. And I think people may copy your technology, people may copy your processes, everything. To copy culture is a very difficult thing for anybody to do. So I think that gets your a big DNA kind of a thing which is there with you. And that is a way forward today. It is something we have started working on. And of course, it all depends on, how the coming generation takes it and how things unfold for them. But the intent, what we have, as the founders, I would say it is pretty positive. And we also have a very high respect for them. And if they rise up to the competency level which is desired, required, nothing better. I think that is what we are working.
Well, I didn't know your daughter is involved in the business. That's lovely. I knew about your son, you had mentioned.
So it's a very recent development. A couple of months ago, she finished 1 year of internship in the US. And
was it difficult to get her in, or she came by will?
I think she came by.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful.
See, we both have 2 children. That's a little interesting one.
Okay.
I have 2 boys. He's got 2 girls.
Oh wow!
Both are of similar age.
Right.
So the elder ones, though, they want, but they have still gone their way. Which is the younger ones are coming.
So younger ones are very clear that they want to be.
And they're very interested. Both of them, I saw, had a lot of passion towards the industry.
Wow.
Which is the main thing. Like what we said, the first thing is your intention.
Of course.
The intent is they want to get into this industry. The elder ones also, they are getting, they're but they're still watching it from the sideline.
So this means Gen Alpha is more easier than Gen Z.
Looks
because
like
I believe the elder ones are Gen Z and the younger ones are Gen Alpha.
The elder ones are billionaires. No, Gen Zs. Gen Zs. And these are like alphas which are there between these alphas and all. So, but that's what is our experience. I think depends on it is still early days.
Yeah. So before we wrap up, let's do something fun. Okay, I just spoke with Priya. I was like, we need to ask. We've kept it very serious and we've kept it very balanced. But before we wrap up, let me just ask this question to both of you guys, and probably whoever wants to go first at it can. What is that one thing which you love about your job, and what is that one thing which you hate about your job?
I think what I love the most is having a possibility as a business entrepreneur or as a founder to create something new. I think both of us we thrive on innovation, thrive on bringing new things, conceptualizing new things. And as an entrepreneur, you are in a unique position to implement your thoughts, bring them into reality. And I think that's what is, brings me to the office every day and trying to do things differently, trying to, change the way things are being done.
Correct.
Basically keep on innovating. And the answer for what I hate most is the drudgery, as in doing the same thing on a repeated basis.
Again,
So it is basically the same question. It has to, or 2 questions have the same answer.
Correct.
What you like is the innovation. What you don't like is the repetitive work. So that's how I would put it.
One thing, I recently heard somewhere, never get into businesses which are very passionate. We are very passionate people get in. I think that is a business like a lot of creative guys, they get in that kind of a business. A boring business is the most paying business. When you do a boring business, I think that is one logistics which, is a boring business. But coming to your question, I think what I love, I would say, every day is a new day. When you get in your office, every day is a new challenge.
Right.
And if you see this challenge as an opportunity, I think that inspires you, that motivates you, to go after something.
Right.
I think that is one different aspect of this job, because I think being in unorganized, what we spoke about fragmented. There are not many professionals. Also, it is not the most preferred industry.
Correct.
Today, it is changing.
Yes.
But of the past, if you see, people wanted to get into banking, they wanted to get into advertising or FMCGs or white goods or different kind of industries. So that also left you with a lot of challenge, because we came from professional backgrounds, which is there. So, and with that, we saw a great opportunity. to do things which would be little different and would be a little more interesting, and which also day by day, it pushes you to
Absolutely.
push the envelope a little bit. What
Yeah.
they say, I think that is there. And what I hate about the job is, again, I would say, it is sometimes you get to your frustrations because you cannot do things because the way you want to do it.
Yeah.
Because there are in a country like India today also, a lot of things are controlled.
Yeah.
Like if you ask me, I would give you an example. When you have to set up your facilities like a container freight station, which you have to set up, which is like we have in Navasheva,
Yeah.
still are pushed to take the local labor guys who are not performing. We would, of course, like to give opportunities to people, but there are people like, there are these old reforms which are there where, the
Labor reforms.
labor reforms, the land reforms
Correct.
which are there.
And the judicial
And-
reforms. These are
and-
three essential things which India needs.
And also, I'll tell you, in terms of, there are certain claustrophobic implementations of reforms or initiatives which happens in terms in a country. So, as an entrepreneur, you have to continuously face these challenges
Yeah.
over here, and that is very frustrating. Which is not the case if you have to work in UAE,
Correct.
or if you have to work in Singapore, or also for that fact in Europe. You would not face those kind of challenges. Today, there are a whole lot of interpretation issues with GSTs or
Yeah.
service tax as an industry which we've been fighting, as individual companies which we've been fighting. And it is not that anybody had malafide, it is all interpretation.
Yeah.
And I think those are the choking things and those are the frustrating things which is there about the job.
I think
Yeah.
sorry.
No, so a large part of our, I would say large, but a substantial part of our workforce, is dedicated to dealing with environment.
Yeah.
So be it, the compliances, and not only because they are not straightforward compliances,
Correct.
they are all interpretation based.
Yeah.
So then you need to fulfill everybody's, requirements as per their interpretations and provide documentation. What.
Yeah.
So I think, the one of the things which an Indian entrepreneur faces is, apart from, dedicating his time to his business, he also has to dedicate time to managing the external environment.
Yeah.
And the lack of reforms in labor, in
Land.
judiciary,
Land.
land, etc., which are factors which are impending factors which come into your way of.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
But I thought one of you would say emails. Never ending emails.
We have cracked that code.
Okay.
Yeah, if you have a strong operations team,
Yeah.
if you have, as I did mention sometime by that, we've been working consciously towards separating management from,
That's so great.
Not
Not a lot of companies have been able to crack that. If
So
you guys are
management
doing it, it's wonderful.
Yeah. So when the management and ownership are different, so then the emails go to the management, not to the
true.
owners, right? So yes.
And that's how it should be, much rather. But guys, this has been great. I hope you guys enjoyed it as well. And I'm sure this episode will have a lot of takeaways. As I told you at the start, we have a very variety of viewers who watch this, people who want to get into this industry, people who are 2 to 3 years into the industry looking for some motivation here and there, people who are legends of the industry, who already know you, whom you look up to as mentors, or at least as the flag bearers of the industry. They also watch it. So I think I'm sure there will be a takeaway for everyone. And I think what you guys have built over the last 20 years is incredible. I have always loved to see how Indian companies grow and make a mark globally, and that doesn't happen often, and you guys have done it. So kudos to you and more power to you. And I hope the succession plan, everything falls in place. But this was great. I thoroughly enjoyed, and I'm sure everyone else would do so too.
Yeah, we are equally happy to be part of this initiative. I think it's one of its kind, as you explained at the beginning. I think it's not often you get an opportunity to share your journey,
Yeah.
and I'm sure it has been a equally rewarding experience for us. Given an opportunity to be part of this initiative and on a common platform. Like we work together,
Right.
and we've been working together over the years now, almost 30 years, 33 years to be precise. But we rarely get an opportunity to
Reflect back
reflect
and,
back
yeah.
and go back into time and share our experiences. And thank you for giving us that opportunity and making this happen.
Thank you so much. Like Vivek said, it was very good to take a pause
Yeah.
and to look back at your
Yeah.
journey. And I think it's a very important inflection point also
Yes.
for all of us, including the country, I guess, but even for us.
Yeah.
And I think it was very, very informative,
Yep.
and we thoroughly enjoyed it. Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you,
Yeah.
guys. Thank you. Thank